The Civil Aviation Authority Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 9 of 2024, which is coming at committee stage.
Yes, and then we have the resumption of committee work, the Minerals Regulation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2024, which will continue being considered in committee. So that is business expected to be considered on the floor of the House this afternoon.
Yes, and earlier on when business resumed at 09 hours, two announcements were made. Madam Speaker recognized the presence in the public gallery of pupils and teachers from Ndaweni Academy School from Avonde, Lusaka District, and pupils and teachers from Litu Saint School from Kabwata constituency in Lusaka District. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, warmly welcomed the visitors to the National Assembly.
There was a motion that was moved by Her Honor the Vice President to suspend Standing Orders 26(1) and 55 of the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024 to be suspended to enable His Excellency Mr.
After that, we did have a ministerial statement. This one was delivered by the Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security. This was on the ongoing investigations in the murder of the Director General of the Independent Broadcasting Authority. And so the Minister did give details and updated the House on the matter, which is still under investigations. And Honorable Jacob Jack Mwimbu affirmed that the Zambia Police Service is committed to upholding the law, ensuring public safety, and maintaining the highest standards of professional conduct. And he did say that the vast majority of officers serve with integrity, dedication, and a strong sense of duty to protect and serve the citizens of the country.
Yes, we now cross back to the floor of the House. Good afternoon.
Madam Speaker. Yeah.
Signifying that a quorum has not yet been formed. So once a quorum has been formed, business of the House will continue, and it is a requirement that 1/3 of the House has to be present.
Laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 31st July 2024, and this motion was moved by Momba Member of Parliament, Mr. Fred Jatila, and it was seconded by Lundazi Member of Parliament, Ms. Brenda Nyurenda. At the time business was being suspended on the floor of the House was Member of Parliament moving this motion. So when business resumes, we expect him to continue.
And earlier on, another motion was moved by Siabonga Member of Parliament, Mr. Darius Mulunda, and in this motion he urged the House to adopt the report of the Committee on Local Government Accounts on the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2022 for the third session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 31st July 2024. This motion was seconded by Mr. Michel Nyambose Chaseko, Member of Parliament, and this report has since been adopted by the House.
And on the order paper, the House has so far considered one question for oral answer under Standing Order 82, and one question for oral answer under Standing Order 80. And so we'll be able to share with you the details of the questions later on.
Yes, Matimba, just for the information of our viewers, on Tuesday, 30th July 2024, Her Honor the Vice President moved a motion to suspend Standing Orders 24(1), 27, and 123 of the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024 to sit for the House to sit from 09 hours until business on the order paper for each day is completed. So from Wednesday 31st July until Friday 2nd August 2024, and also to consider more than one stage of a bill at a single sitting. So the House has been sitting from Wednesday, yesterday, from 9 hours until business of the House is completed on the order paper on each day. So this will go on until on Friday, when the business of the House for this meeting is concluded.
Yes, Pauline, and so bells are still ringing. Like my colleague mentioned, that it is a requirement that 1/3 of members of Parliament must be present. Just now, we take you to the floor of the House. Good afternoon.
Order, honorable members, order. When business was suspended, the honorable member for Momba was moving the motion that this House adopts the report of the Planning and Budgeting Committee on the 2024 mid-year budget performance report for the 3rd session of 31st July.
That the local businesses feel that when external creditors businesses in view of the government to enhance engagements with local businesses. Further, Honourable Speaker, the committee urges the government to expedite plans to take up the payment of the backlog of VAT refunds that date as far back as 2013 to enable the Zambia Revenue Authority to only handle subsisting VAT refunds. Number 3, Madam Speaker, the undersubscription of government bonds and treasury bills. Madam Speaker, the committee notes with concern that the Central Bank experienced an undersubscription on 4 out of the 6 bond auctions in 2024. The subscription for government bonds averaged 89.81%, while that of the treasury bills was 54.56%. The committee further notes that general revenues were utilized to refinance maturities on domestic debt due to the underperformance of government securities auctions. Madam, the committee is concerned that should the underperformance persist, the continued utilization of general revenues to refinance maturities will negatively affect budget implementation and interest cost servicing. In this regard, the committee urges the government to put in place measures which will encourage the participation of local investors, considering that domestic financing remains a critical avenue for the government to raise affordable revenue to meet its expenditure needs. The committee further urges the government to review the change in the issuance of security bonds from issuing on a discounted rate to par value and auctioning. I'm confident, Madam Speaker, that the government will take decisive and progressive action on the recommendations made by the committee. The committee is grateful, Madam Speaker, for your continued support and guidance as it carries out its mandate. This gratitude, Madam Speaker, also extends to the office of the clerk. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you. Does the seconder wish to speak now or later?
Madam Speaker.
The honorable member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving a chance to the people of Lundazi to second this motion. I want to state categorically that MOVA has moved this motion ably, and I want to appreciate that he has spoken to most of the issues that we had in our committee meeting, and I'll only touch to only 3 issues that the MOVA has not spoken to. Madam, indeed, has been very challenging, as the MOVA has already spoken to. It has been challenging in that there was a drought, and apart from the drought, the exchange rate has been escalating, and apart from that, we have suffered serious load shedding, In addition, fuel prices have been escalating. And worst of it all, we have not been able to get the benefit, a good benefit out of our mines. Madam Speaker, after interactions with some of the appeared before the committee, it was reported that unlicensed mining paying tax companies, only 6 out of the 6,000 are the only ones who are taxed. The indicators for our 2